Hi everybody, Tom here from CSI. Today is something fun. You know that I've interviewed other people before, and today I have the pleasure of introducing a buddy of mine that we've known each other for a long, long time. He was the head painter for my body shop, and his name is James Stewart.
Hello everybody.
Tell us a little bit about you, James. Tell us what you're doing.
Well, now I've ventured into custom motorcycle painting.
What's your name?
They call me Sweet Baby James. I've been going by that for about 20 years. It's just fun, you know, try to keep this custom industry as fun as possible. You know, we're spending more time at work than at home, so keep it fun.
Yeah. So back, I don't know, what year was it that you started working for me?
I don't know, but I think it was about...
Did we have the Fiero project over? Or?
Yes, after the Fieros.
Okay, so most of you don't know, I had a kit car company. That was a real fun business. Along with having a restoration business, just some crazy idea. Did well with it. We sold them all over the world. And James would come into Tom's Auto Body after I was done with that whole kit car issue.
Well, there was some lawsuits going on and stuff still, but
yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Okay, this is fun. YouTube. Yeah, so we made a Pontiac Fiero look like a Ferrari, and ended up getting sued by Ferrari on that deal. We came out on the front cover of Kit Car magazine before Ferrari had launched their new car that they claimed we looked like. But it was pretty much over for the Fiero market because of the death of the Fiero. The Pontiac Fiero was over, I think, in '88. And we were GMAC financed with those cars, so you could buy a Fiero and then buy that kit directly from General Motors and have us install it, or General Motors. It was a complete bolt-on kit on the Pontiac Fiero. So it was fun. It was really fun to have those artists work in our shop and clay model and build all the molds and you know, but
I think I cut some of them up.
Yeah, we had to cut them up. We had to cut up all the molds of the Pontiac Fiero. That was, but it was fun, and James was there. Now, when James did come there, I had said, never again will I do that. Okay, I'm not going to get into the kit car business. And I didn't really think there was any money in kit cars unless you were on brand new cars and working, you know, at the dealership level. That's what I thought. I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of kit car people that do it, but we really started to hone in on only 100% only do restoration work.
And we were doing some awesome cars, like some of my favorites, like the Panteras for the Pantera Club and all those, you know, cars that I seen on posters back in the day.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Ferraris, you name it. All the cool cars were.
Yeah, we were
making them cooler.
Yeah, yeah, and it, you know, I think, you know, I know we talked to a lot of guys who want to get into the restoration business. I don't know that I ever set out to get into it, but because of where we are in Southern California, it just seemed to be a melting pot for the money that we needed to do that kind of stuff, because it was so outrageously expensive to do production work. I mean, we produced a lot of restoration cars. I mean, a lot of cars. And James was managing the shop too. So when you get all these egos together in the shop, oh my gosh.
I'm like, I'm going to clear all these cars out of here, you know.
But remember the fight that I'm sitting in my office.
With the team I had, what fight? There are a few of them.
Oh my gosh. Tom, this is going on. What? How is that happening? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, you know, I say what fight? Like, my son was working there for a while,
yeah,
and
that's right.
he swears, I don't remember this, but he swears I threw a screwdriver at him. But I told him, I said, no, I didn't throw it at you, because if I threw it at you, you'd have one stuck in you, you know, so.
Oh my gosh.
But having my son work there was pretty fun too.
Yeah.
Because I tried to scare him out of the trade. It's too hard of work, you know. I wanted to have a desk job or something, you know. But
I mean, I'm glad we did it
Yeah.
and we lived through it. I mean, we were doing millions of dollars worth of cars for the richest people that I know. And I mean, we got to really produce some really, really nice stuff. And, you know, you guys know, if you've been watching my YouTube station, that we did win first place at Pebble Beach. And James was the painter on that car.
that Maserati.
Maserati 5000, yeah, that's right, in 1999. And, you know, you never know if you're going to produce a car that's going to win. But you don't know that about any of the car shows. We were already winning at all the local car shows, but to win first place, and you know, and I know there's some people, oh, you didn't win overall first place, and I'm like, number one, I'm not interested in pre-war cars. We never had a pre-war car in our shop. So Duesenbergs, Packards, all the I wouldn't even want to work on those. I wouldn't even know how to work on those. We were doing Ferraris, and the class that we won first place in was the exotic car class. So
That's first place.
yeah, first place. Yeah, to me, there is no other first place. You know, I don't care what those other cars. I don't care one bit about those other cars. And you know, I know that we've got some viewers that have those kind of cars, and you know, we just didn't concentrate on that. I can tell you a story. The owner of Oakley came in one day, and I didn't know him, but he walked in, and he was sent by my neighbor. So at that time we had a lot of Ferraris in the shop, and I didn't know this guy. Walks in my shop and says, hey, you know, I got a couple of Chevelles. Now this is before the muscle car craze happened, or that I even thought you could get paid enough to do a Chevelle. So he walked in and said he's got a couple of Chevelles, and I'm like, that's just not what we do.
We're doing Ferraris.
Yeah. That was probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. And he walked out real nice, walked out, and my neighbor comes running in, Tom, did such and such come in here? Yeah, you know, I guess that's who he was. Who's that? He goes, that was the owner of Oakley. So you just never know. And I think for us, you know, at least on the way we were leaning, that, you know, we already had enough experience in doing strange, weird, exotic cars, you know, and that Maserati was definitely a strange car that I'd never even seen before. But it was fun, and it was fun to dial in all this talent, because you have to have the talent. You know, you've really got to hire people who are into working on this, and sometimes it doesn't seem like you're making enough money.
I mean, just getting the color for that thing.
Yeah, it was.
Took some time, a lot of spray outs,
Yeah,
a lot of different ways of doing spray outs.
yeah, that was. It was crazy. That was crazy times. But yeah, now James is into. Well, let's talk a little bit about your history, because that to me is pretty neat. You know, we got rid of Tom's Auto Body, the whole idea of production, because now we're going to do, you know, polish. Now, did you come to work for System 1 then, or was it
Well,
later?
Well, we were there doing all these cars.
Yeah.
And then, we'd buff out a car and get it all beautiful, and then we'd wash it, and there's swirl marks all over it, and we know the story.
Yeah.
And you're like, we need to. You were starting to work with people to get a polish that
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we're just testing all this stuff and doing this and
Yeah,
that. and
that's
we're
right.
creating our own water-based
Yeah.
product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
to be there through the beginning of that, it's amazing. Great story. And then
remember
one day,
the static electricity.
then one day I'm like, Tom, I'm done working on cars. I want to get out there and sell this stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
But I was a System 1 guy for a few years.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it's fun going into body shops and
He's in there
Yeah.
demoing left,
Yeah. And all body shops are pretty much the same, I think, They
Yeah.
all are like, oh my gosh, another polish, get out of here. I don't want to see, no, wait. We're different. We're totally different. We're from the trade. And they would let us in, and it was fun winning them over, getting
Yeah.
them.
One of my famous, or my favorite rejection stories is I walked into a fixed auto body, and there's a lady at the desk, and I said, hey, I want to demo this new product. And she's like, I can't let everybody in here with their new stuff. And I'm like, well, are you still pounding out dents with rocks? Like, she got so mad. And then the manager walked out and, heard my story.
Oh, wow.
Demo.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. But, again, what an uphill battle.
Wow.
It's like climbing Mount Everest. But so was the restoration trade. I mean, so was everything we did in that trade. Yeah.
And then I went to run in Saline,
Oh yeah.
the
that's
paint
right.
department in Saline Mustang.
Was John working there then?
I replaced him
Oh wow. Okay.
because they wanted you,
Oh
and you're like,
no. Was it not? I don't.
because you called me and said,
That position was open?
oh well, John was there. That's right. They hired me for night shift.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because John was my friend.
that's right.
I knew John.
Yeah, John was there still.
Yeah.
Now I remember. But so that I went in, and he's like, "You're gonna do the night shift, so follow me around for 2 weeks during the day shift."
Oh, okay.
And I'm just asking questions like I don't know anything. These guys, they're like, "Yeah, this guy doesn't know anything." And then I started doing the night shift, and then a week later, they can John and tell me I'm in charge of day and night now.
Wow. Wow.
And all those guys are like, you didn't know anything last week. I was just, learning how it works and, not acting like a know-it-all.
It's
My
crazy.
big,
That's crazy. But I do remember that one time I turned down a job for Toyota. And I told you I turned down that job to work at Cal-T.
yeah.
Because I was doing this, I was doing the polish thing, and of course I think I'm going to do much better with it. And I turned down the painter's job at Cal-T at the design center for Toyota. And James says, if that ever happens again, so somehow my name got on a list, and it did. And there was an opportunity, and James took it over at, can we say?
Yeah, General Motors Advanced
Woo-wee.
Design.
Woo! James was a painter there for a long, long time.
Yeah, I was there 10 years.
Wow.
Doing all the Corvettes, Camaros, Cadillacs.
The unseen
Of the
cars.
future.
Yeah, nobody's allowed to see these cars.
And
all
then-
clay models.
And then they started doing all the electric stuff, and they just got all boxy and style went away. And I'm like, no. So
Yeah.
that was fun. I didn't really like changing into the electric side of it, and then we're doing a flying vehicle,
Oh.
and I'm
really?
like,
Oh.
man, one of our shows. I'm like, this is the most drastic change that the automotive industry has done in the whole last 50 years at least,
At least. Wow.
So, but I ended up leaving there because it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, but James is doing some really cool stuff
Yeah.
now. Sweet Baby James is what he goes by.
Yeah, my passion has always been motorcycles, you know, keeping that chopper vibe alive.
And you have a YouTube station. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about what you're doing?
We can, yeah.
So James is doing, with a group of guys, they have their own video series they're coming out with.
Yeah, we're just starting a Dirty Business Garage. And it's
Cool.
a few of my buddies. We've been hanging out in our garages every Wednesday night, fixing each other's stuff. And I mean, sometimes it's just hanging lights in the garage. But we're like, let's film this, you know?
That's cool.
So we're filming it, still having fun. And because, you know, like when I quit General Motors, I was trying to like retire, relax more. But I find out that me relaxing is out in the garage working too. So just keep doing it, try to make it fun as possible. And now, you know, me and Tom have been doing this for so long. There's not too many people still around to tell the story that have been doing it as long as us. So I want to tell the stories.
Yeah, no,
you know,
they're all good stories.
and share the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's fun.
I still think I got a few paint jobs in me.
Yeah, they're coming out awesome too. James just finished a full chopper, did some really cool graphics on it, and really nice looking candies with, I don't know, what had different colored candies on.
Yeah, I was
the
working
tank.
with Ace of Shades paint, and yeah, just cocktailing some stuff together,
Yeah, look good.
making some black blood red. You know, I wanted like a scab, like a road rash, you know, combination. You know?
Yeah, that looked good. It looked really nice. He sprayed it out. To me, I mean, the way James, you know, I'm a painter, but James is a really, really good painter. I mean, he dials in zero orange peel. I didn't care if I got orange peel. I'm going to color sand it anyway. But James always tries to get
That ultimate finish, man.
and he showed me the gas tank after he painted. I was like, oh my gosh, you're not going to have to buff that now. He did, thank God. But it didn't look like it needed it. You know, it was flat as glass. So that's always nice to see skilled work being
Yeah,
done.
no matter what, you know, you lay down that clear, so nice, and you think it can't get better. But cut it, put some CSI elbow grease on there. It's better, you
Yeah,
know.
That's cool. That's good.
So, yeah, but I like how I was able to keep that 60s vibe working with the customer. I mean, I've known this guy for, I don't know, at least 10 years. And he's like, I built this bike, I want you to paint it. So I'm like, we got to drink about it a little bit. And, you know, I like getting the vibe from the bike that I'm painting. Because in choppers, I mean, it's all about making the bike yours, you know, individuality, and make it your own. And I have fun making it the personal touch, you know, get to know the person. And business-wise, it's really hard to do that because, you know, you're gonna pay me to go out and drink with you while we talk about your paint job? Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Well, there has to be some way to make money.
And it could be a cup of coffee, but
Yeah,
you know, you got to get to know the person to get their paint job on there.
Yeah. Well, it looks really good. It does definitely have that old school vibe, but it's got a wet looking paint job. I mean,
Yeah.
it just looks,
Yeah.
really wet. It really, really looks nice.
Yeah, the Ace of Shades clear. It's no joke. It's nice.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Well, James and I are going to do this a couple more times. We kind of wanted to see what, you know, just how this works. But we have lots and lots of stories to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, we just find ourselves talking like this, telling these stories to each other, and we're like, let's put a camera up and share it with everybody because it's really nice, you know, and neat, and you know, I'm short, but I got a huge, delightful personality.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He really does. Yeah, you know, I know when, you know, I started even looking at this trade at my dad's shop, and it was my dad, a regular body shop. But I had a motorcycle, and I painted that motorcycle, and I remember holding that gas tank, and the idea of it, just having something that you did and making it shiny. My feeling's still the same. It's exactly the same today.
Well, one of the first motorcycles I painted, well, the only one I painted at your shop, was an MV Augusta.
Oh, that's right, for that one guy who restores
For
those.
Todd, yeah.
Todd,
and
yes.
it ended up in the Guggenheim Museum of Fine Arts, recognized as art. The first motorcycle recognized
It
as
had that
art.
big
And,
fairing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool bike.
and the history of that bike, winning all the races and stuff, is really amazing.
Yeah, I remember him coming in, and we had so many. This is way before the craze that we see today.
Oh yeah.
But these things, I'm sure that bike would bring big, big, big money if it went to auction.
Well, then he was towing it around with a Ferrari,
That's right. He had a little trailer.
and people
Yeah.
didn't know he paid $300,000 for that motorcycle.
Oh wow. Whoa.
It was big
Wow.
money then.
Yeah, that was big money then. Wow. Yeah, cool stories. Yeah, I can't wait.
But yeah, it's good to be able to share these with
Yeah.
you. I mean,
Oh,
we've been doing this so long together. Like,
Yeah.
I've left and done different jobs, but I'm always here with Tom testing out his polish. And
James, check this. I just made it a little better. Tom, what'd you do? Oh my God, you ruined it. Yeah, but that's how you get it better.
yeah, that's how. I always have a little something to
Yeah.
input on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun having somebody to give it to, and you're going to get a good, honest opinion, because he needs it to be good to do the stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
And by getting those little tweaks, I think that's what makes us a good product. It's not anything that I'm doing. It's giving it to people like James
Yeah.
to check it out.
I mean, we tested it to the fullest.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And it's amazing. Thanks for hearing us out. I
Yeah,
hope you
thanks,
enjoyed
guys.
our stories, and hopefully we get to do more.
Yeah. So until next time, and we're going to do this more often, but let us know. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is this something that you really want to see? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.